The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. Chad Hyams and Bob Stewart chat with Adelina Rotar. Adelina is a seasoned real estate expert based in Austin, Texas. With over a decade of experience, she co-founded a successful real estate team alongside Ben Kinney in 2015 and has sold approximately $1 billion in property over the past decade. Listen as Adelina dives into her approach to team building with a focus on professionalism and consistent performance expectations. The conversation provides actionable advice for agents looking to thrive, regardless of market conditions. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast.
Welcome back. It's another week of Do This. Chad Hyams here. Last week, I got to fly solo without Bob, and never solo because we always have amazing guests. Yet this week, well, his browser is giving him issues. He might show up at some point. Yet, you know what? We got one of those guests that I'm okay. I'm going to have a better time talking to you than I would talking with Bob. Anyway, so Adelina, welcome to the Do This webinar. We're so excited to have you here.
What's up, Chad? Good to see you again.
Yes, it's been a little while since we've had that opportunity, and you and I were catching up on some of the outside of business stuff. We're going to stick to the business stuff here. Yet not everybody, I don't know who they are, yet not everybody knows Adelina. Would you give everybody kind of that bio history, that what made us want to bring you on this call?
Sure. I am coming to you from Austin, Texas, and at some point 10 years ago, we thought it was brilliant to move to the hottest place on earth. I don't know how I feel about that decision today because it is hot 99% of the year, like too hot, like 100 degrees hot. Ben Kinney and I, we started a team here in Austin, Texas, 10 years ago, back in 2015. So this is our 10th year. We started out with 10 agents, just made a big ripple effect when we came over here. We've sold about $1 billion here in the last 10 years. We have 15 agents on our team. What sets us apart is that they are all professionals. And what I mean by that is real estate is their profession. They sell real estate for a living, which means that the expectation is that they make six figures in any market without like Zillow Flex leads and things like that. So that's kind of what's been going on business-wise, fun-wise. Well, we have a new baby. It's our fourth baby. It's fun because it sounds fun. It's also very exhausting. So those of you who are thinking about going from like 3 to 4 kids, a little vacation.
All right, there you go, right? 1, you can double team them, right? 2, it's you got to play man-to-man coverage around the house. 3, they start outnumbering you, and now you're in trouble. 4, oh, they've even got one on the bench waiting to come in and go get you. Be careful with that.
I love it. I mean, it's all good. My oldest is going to college. She's going to UT this fall. So we have this nice break. I don't know. We thought about doing it again, and here we are with
Crazy.
A little infant.
Crazy. All right. That's amazing. And somehow you go through it. Now, I heard something in there. You said everyone on your team is a professional real estate agent. So are you telling me you don't take part-time people at all? They have to be fully committed.
That is correct. And it sounds a little bit perhaps harsh. I'll give you background a little bit on why that's important in my market. And every market's going to feel a little bit different. Back April 2022, and I know it's like 3 years ago now, but that is when the market began to fall in Austin. And
Okay.
We have been in a free fall ever since. And what happens to a business that is in a market that's free falling, and you have people who are selling 1 house or 2 houses a year, it's just not, you can't do it. Not only that, it is difficult to make a living if you don't sell a house a month. So our standard is sell a house a month. I don't know about you, Chad. I have bills every month. Maybe other people don't have bills every month, but my agents have bills every month. So it's 12 units per year to be on the team. Now, could you have a different job? I guess you could. It would just be very difficult.
Okay. And how does that conversation go when you're meeting with someone? So many people want to get into real estate. Maybe they don't have the funds to get into it fully yet. So they're like, well, I'm going to, yet I still need my job, sort of thing. Talk about that conversation, because there's going to be some people listening to this that are looking to grow their organizations, and they'll just take anybody. You've set a standard, right? We've heard that on Do This so many different calls and so many different ways. As there's a standard. Your standard is I don't take people that aren't real estate professionals, meaning this is job number one. How do you set that standard, and how do you have that conversation with your potential recruits?
Before you are able to have that conversation and come from a good place, right? Because you are trying to come from a good place. You're not coming from a place of, well, you're not good enough because you can't XYZ, right? Because we all have to start somewhere. Before you to have that conversation, you have to decide what kind of business you have. And for me, it's really important that our clients, our buyers and our sellers, have a level of service that is 100%. And it's difficult to provide 100% service when you're selling 2 homes a year. That's just the truth. So if I had that conversation, if you came in, Chad, and you're like, man, I've really still got to supplement my income. Great. Awesome. What does that look like? Like, what does that look like in the evening? My number one agent, Maria, for 11 months served tables in the evening. Nobody knew because she didn't show up the next day hemming and hawing how she had to serve tables and how tired she is. She did her real job, real estate, and then she supplemented income. The girl's like net like 300,000 a year for as long as I've known her, for 10 years now, right? But she had to supplement income. There's nothing wrong with supplementing income, but this is your main gig. This is your profession. If this is not your profession, then I'd love to refer you to somebody where part-time is totally okay.
I love that. Love that. Bob Stewart, great to see you here.
My computer hates me. Adelina Rotar, you're like my favorite human in the whole world. And so I'm so embarrassed that my computer crashed on me. But here I am. Hi, good to see you.
What's up? It's all good.
Wait. She's your favorite human. I'm logging off. All right.
I lie to you, Chad, when I tell you that.
That's fair. I'll take that, Bob. We've been talking, Bob, about some of the standards that Adelina had. One that jumped right out was that she has professional real estate agents. So we were talking about that conversation and all that. You structured your team to always win. And I don't mean that in a competitive way that you're going to beat other people down, but in any market, because you have been in Austin for 10 years and Austin has seen many markets in those 10 years. It's skyrocketed. It's come down. It's leveled. It's gone up again during COVID. It's coming down, as you talked about, since 2022, I think is when you said that started. How did you build this almost market proof?
That's a really good perspective, because sometimes while we were doing this, it kind of felt a little crazy because it still felt good for the last 2 years for a lot of markets. And here we were having to work 3 times as hard. And that feels weird when the rest of the country doesn't have to. But here's a couple of things that we did to just kind of bulletproof what we were doing. Because again, when you say you have full-time agents and you have professional agents, that does mean that you need to be able to guarantee a plan to make 6 figures in any market, including the worst market we've seen in Austin, Texas. So a couple of things that have been killer for us, for anyone taking notes. Number 1 is tripling your effort. And I know we have heard that before, but I mean for real, for real. And here's what it looks like for the agents on our team that are taking home 100 to 300,000 a year. 50 conversations. And when I mean 50 conversations, I don't mean like a quick little social media quick thing. I mean 50 conversations that were at least 2 minutes long. Was there quality to that conversation? And you want to maximize morning time for this. This isn't I'm networking in the afternoons and I might talk to 10 people and maybe I said something about real estate. I'm talking call expireds, call canceled, call for sale by owners, circle prospect, call just solds. And the reason I say that is because these are sellers. And more than ever, I know you're thinking well, why would I want sellers when there's so much inventory already? No. Folks who want to sell their home, what we're finding is they want to work with an agent who's going to go the extra mile, who's going to provide certainty that their house can and will sell. So we're making out big time right now with the expireds, canceled, for sale by owner, circle prospecting, and just sold calls. And then the other one I would add on to the 50 conversation is call your renters, right? If you're in Brivity and you're tagging people as tenants, find builders doing 3.99 to 4.99% rates and sell the dream of home ownership versus 100% rent, interest rate on rent, so that those renters can become homeowners. So I would say start there. If you're not having 50 legit conversations every week, you're probably not doing your job. I would move on from there, and I would move on to like afternoons, and I would move on to weekends. And I would say, gotta do your open houses. And I know we all already know that, but every agent I talk to who wants to be on our team, they'll say, well, I already do open houses. And I'm like, tell me about your open houses. And it's like, they did like one last week. I'm like, that's not going to do it for you. Like one a week in a good market is not good. One a week in a bad market is really not good. So what we're seeing is 4 open houses a week, at least 3 weeks a month. And then what you're really looking for is not really necessarily just the activity. You're looking for the result of the activity. Are you adding 8 new leads a week? So are you doing 4 open houses that's generating you 8 new leads? Here's what I think about when I think about open houses. Don't back down on meeting people who are furthest along in their search timeline, and use kind of like an algorithm, if you will. Like, did that listing just come to market? Did that listing just come to market and this is the first weekend that they're going to be on the market? Does it have 20 saves on Zillow? If you're going to have new on market, first weekend on market, and it's got 20 saves on Zillow, you're going to have a good open house. You're not looking just for an open house, especially if you're in a market, like if you're in a market where it's kind of softening, you're looking for business, not just doing the activity. And someone that's willing to get in your car or get in their car and come on over to your open house, like that person is already so much further along than maybe a web lead is, right? So couple of things when you're at the open house that's working well for us, Chad, if anyone is doing open houses right now, got to have 5 other homes to show in the area. If you don't have 5 other homes, nothing else to talk about, they're moving on. You got to have them on listing alerts the same day. You can't wait till Monday. And you got to have 2 or 3 off markets to talk about, not just something that's already on the market. You got to talk about deals. You got to talk about something that they can't find anywhere else, because you're trying to create value. We closed, I think, 3 properties this month from off markets simply by bringing them to our leads and to our clients.
Wait, real quick. Where are you finding those people? Those are just people in your guys' database that you talk to, or you had the, hey, if I had a buyer in the future and could I bring them to you and see if you might be ready now? Is it a would sell list, or like where are you coming?
Couple things. Would sell list. Number 2, tagged in your Brivity. Number 3, here's why I feel pretty passionate about building a team. You're not doing it all on your own. So if you're a solo agent, totally okay. You just got to build your community of people in your market who share listings and what's coming up. And that's the hard way, and that's okay. You can do it the hard way. The easier way is if you are already on a team, everyone on the team should be having business. Every Monday when you do your team meeting, everyone should be talking about what listings they have coming up. And you should be jotting those down, and that should go on your social media, and that should go to your open houses, and you should be talking about that with your leads when you're doing your follow-ups. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So Adeline, you're saying
someone who says we're going to list the house, we just need to paint the house first, or we're going to fix these repairs, or you're calling that's an off market, right? That's an off market listing. Okay.
So I got that open house coming up this next weekend, and Monday at the team meeting, I'm totally tuned in for like who has a listing that might be that one I can keep in my pocket at my open house coming up this weekend. It's not on the market yet. Okay.
Always 100%. Because in this market, like for us in Austin, at the peak of the pandemic, when the market was actually good, we had 1,200 listings. Our market area is like 2 million people. 1,200 listings was like awful, actually. Now we have almost 15,000. The market has completely like it's a free fall for everything. We're topping the charts on everything that we don't want to top the charts for. But you know what? We're still going to sell 300 homes this year.
Yeah, and people always
want to make a move. There's always, I'm telling you, builders are offering things right now that they haven't offered before. Sellers are willing to take prices that they haven't before. And the top 10%, those homes still sell for top dollar. Like I sold one of my personal homes, and I sold it like in multiple offers like for top dollar, wasn't even sure what the appraisal was going to do, right? Like there's the top 10%, but then there's the 90% of homes that you've got to always know that they're there. But here's the thing I hear about from open houses. Here's why people don't do them at the pace and at the rate that they should. Outside of like maybe we're a little lazy as humans, I don't know. But how do you find 4 awesome open houses every single week? Because then it becomes a job.
Like simply finding them becomes
becomes the job. You know what? Like, okay, number one, you got to switch your mindset. Like, we're here right now doing this, Zoom podcast, whatever this is. Like, this is a job. Like, we didn't just show up, right? Like, everything we do is a job. So get over that. Right?
Yeah, I'm fans of you guys, but if I wouldn't just be here because, right?
Bob Stewart?
We'd be together, but we'd be like out on a golf course or on a boat on a lake or something. Right? That's where we'd be having the conversation.
Totally. Here's the deal. You're going to have to reach out 20 to 30 times to get one good open house. And that's just the job of it, because the result is you're going to get 4 open houses that are really awesome. You're going to get 8 new leads. From those 8 new leads, you can close 1. So really, like, is your time not worth, like, is your $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 check not worth you, like, spending 2 hours to find your open houses? Like, I'm sorry. Like,
where are you finding them? I mean, are you calling other agents?
100%. Like, there is not a world that any team I know has, 20 new listings that are freaking awesome every week. And so, yeah, it is. You can start with your brokerage. Certainly, we go outside of our brokerage all the time. I know different brokerages have different stuff around that. Whatever, like, look past it. There's enough listings in anybody's market that I would be able to find 4 open houses every week in your market.
Oh, I mean, you just go on, like, in a given weekend, Adelina, what percentage of the homes listed are being held open? Like 5%, maybe?
Low, like,
yeah. So
not super high, super high.
The vast majority of the inventory is available to be held open. I mean, granted, you got to get the listing agent to buy in and the sellers
and the seller to go away and all that stuff. So yeah, there's probably 10% that you're never going to get, but.
We talk about got to have enough conversations. We talk about got to have enough open houses, because you got to meet the people who are willing to buy in this market, and they're getting in their car. They're willing to buy in this market. The question is, are they going to buy with you? Are they going to buy with the next agent that they go to? Are they going to buy with their cousin who sold 2 homes? I don't know. That's up to you. That's your job, right? But you got to get it in the path of it.
Adelina, what are some of the other standards? I've heard from you. You have a standard of I will only hire professional real estate agents. I've heard the standard of they have a standard. They will have 50 real estate conversations every week of at least 2 minutes in length. They will sit at least 4 open houses a week, 3 weeks out of every month. And you have this conversation, obviously, with them. Are there any other standards that other people out here, whether they're solo agents or building a team, should be saying, I need to add that standard to our world as well?
Man, this is going to sound maybe repetitive. But I'll say it anyway. The market changes every day. And if you are not engaged, and what I mean by engaged is if you're not showing up for your business, if you're not showing up, I'm going to say it, in the office, or the equivalent of in the office, which might be Zoom. I don't care. I've been on maternity leave now for a month, right? I'm not fully in it right now. And I know I'm not fully in it right now.
And you can feel it because you know what it feels like to have been in it for 10 years, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like, I don't buy into this whole thing of, like, I never go into the office. I go into the office once or twice. Like, I know we all sign up for flexibility, but man, let me tell you, like, my doctor who delivered my baby didn't sign up for flexibility. He showed up to, like, deliver my baby. Like, you got to show up, right? And so one thing that we look for is engagement at a high level. When I deliver leads for my agents or deliver referrals, I am huge on who is showing up and who's engaged, because I can get, like, my agents are all professionals. I can give a referral to anybody and they'll close it. That's not the point. Like, who is showing up as a leader right now because they're not showing up for me. They're showing up for our clients. And so what I look at, Chad, like our training is keyed freaking in, right? Monday we got our team meetings. Like that's a non-negotiable. It's not a standard because legally I can't call it that, but it's a non-negotiable if you're going to be a successful person. 1 o'clock Monday we have training, and it is upskill training, right? We have tons of training throughout the week with place. On Friday we have 1 o'clock training again. If you're not upskilling, you are completely missing the boat right now. And yeah,
I want to go down that vein a little bit, because I think like if there's anything I think about you, I think like accountability.
yeah.
And I don't know why that is necessarily. It's just what I get from you, and I know that you're one of the early Ben Kinney partners. You took a lot of his early models and like actually made them models, and you guys then went and like executed on them and ran. Like I really do give you credit, I think, for like taking those models, which some of them were just ideas from Ben or something. You're like, we got to make this a model, right?
High five.
Yeah. What do you do with people on the team that don't buy in? Like, how much time do you spend trying to drag them along? Do you coach them one-on-one? Like, talk about that, because I think as a team, somebody building a team, if they're sitting out here, we get these people that, they're saying, oh, the leads are garbage. Just like, how do you deal with culture and people that aren't 100% bought in?
Yeah. Well, first of all, no lead is a garbage lead. That's on you. That's your skill set might be garbage, but the lead isn't garbage. Because that person lives somewhere, by the way.
Yeah.
Probably not their car.
Agreed.
But anyway, I think if you work backwards, perfect world solution is when they join your team, you're working them through a launch program. And during the launch program, I'm not looking for results. I'd love results. I'm looking for, what does the activity look like? What does the engagement look like? When we say we're going to, like, our standard is 50 conversations, if they're not doing it during their launch period, when this is like their interview for the team,
everybody's watching them, all eyes on you.
They're not going to do it later. If they're not doing their open houses during launch, darling, they're not going to do them later, right? But we're not in a perfect world right now. So let's say somebody's been with you 2 years, 3 years, and it worked for a while, and then the market changed and it doesn't work anymore. Our bad habits catch up to us, lack of routines, whatever. You've got to have the re-enrollment conversation. And the re-enrollment conversation it can be as nice or as hard as you want it to, depending on your style. I am a little lax nowadays in my older age. I used to be a lot more cutthroat, but I'm jumping around the 40-year mark, and I'm a little bit nicer now. But what it needs to sound like is, here's who we are. Here's what you said you wanted to do when you partnered with our team. We're partners. Here's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like right now it doesn't feel like a partnership. I'd love for you to re-enroll in your goals. I'd love for you to re-enroll in our standards. Is that still a goal of yours? Is that still what you want in life? And if it is, awesome. Like, let's reset. If it's not, totally fine. Like, let's move on. And it's like, really have like no fear of loss. And if you're recruiting enough, you don't have fear of loss. It's kind of like an agent with listings. Like, you hold on to that one overpriced listing because you got nothing else. But if you have 6 other listings, who cares that one doesn't want to like do anything? Like, let them go.
The thing I've loved that you've said through this whole call is it's lead, not lag. Right? You just said it very specifically of, I hope there are results. I want them to have results, yet I'm watching for their activities. Right? At the beginning, you said, yes, there is a standard that you sell at least 1 house a month to be able to, yet that's not what it is. You then followed that up and said, and we had to therefore have a model that provided for them that if they did the 50 conversations, if they did this, they would do that. That it's always lead measures that you're setting the standards at, not lag measures, which is, well, sell a house and we don't care how you get there and we're going to leave you alone and you go do your own thing. And if you do, you do. And if you don't, you don't. It's no, here are the activities. Folks, too many of us set our goals, set our standards, and set our expectations based on lag results, not lead activities. And Adeline has made that very clear through this call. You've got to be focused on those leads.
I think like what I've thought about over the years is, some of this stuff does work depending on the market that we're in. Like, you can leave people alone and just kind of let them do their thing. But the success and the health of your business ultimately is, will it work in any market? And we found that there are always things we can work on. Like, if you ask me right now, I'll give you a laundry list of things we can work on. But 70% of my people are making six figures in a market where it is absolute shit, right? And so you've got to ask yourself, okay, like, do I have at least 100 reviews right now when people are searching for me, right? Because it matters now. Am I doing my open houses to get in front of people? Because it matters now. Am I sending video messages and getting an 80% conversion response? Because it matters now. Like, everything we do now is like, is my social media strategic? Because it can't be cutesy anymore, because nobody cares about cutesy, right? Like, do I have testimonials? Do I have good deals? Do I have dream homes? Do I have open houses? Am I solving people's problems? Like, is that what my social media is about? Or is it just pretty homes? Because nobody cares about that anymore, right? And so you're just working backwards, like, in this market, like, what is necessary? And I gotta do it.
Yeah, it's so good. So good.
Let me tell you what I think that's working really well for us. If anybody's in a tough market right now, if you're not doing reverse offers, you're probably missing out probably on 20% of your business.
Reverse offers. Tell us.
Give them the 30-second pitch. What's reverse offers?
You have to make the first move. It's like dating. So, like, you have to, if you got a listing that isn't moving, you got to make the first move. It sounds like, hey, Bob, you saw my listing at 123 Main Street. Hey, I know the price didn't work when you saw it, with the summer selling season, kind of finishing up this month. My seller's given me permission to share that his bottom dollar for all 30 property people who have seen this house is, 500,000, and they're willing to accept 500,000. I know you saw it at 550, but if you close by the end of the month, you can have it 500. And my in-house lender will kick in an extra 500 appraisal credit, and he has 100% closing rate. Do the same thing on buyers. Go to sellers. My buyers tapped out at 450. I know that you guys are at 500. Before assuming that 500 is firm in this market, I wanted to ask if if the seller would accept at 450 if we close this month. So you got it. Like, we closed, I think, 3 so far this month on reverse offers. So you got to create the market. So professionals create the market. Like,
that's so good. That's like the best thing.
Line right there. Yeah.
That's the best thing I've heard this in a minute. My goodness. Yeah. I've had 30 people come through that house and it was listed at 550 and none of them made an offer. And that's so good.
Well, the cool thing is, at the end of the day, you just got the bottom number from the seller. And so you went back to all 30 people and nobody wanted it. And you say, you know what, listen,
we got to drop it.
You know that 500 is what you're willing to take. Let's just reduce it to that and stay firm and see if anyone jumps at it, right? Like, we just opened it up to 30 people. Like, let's open it up to like 15,000 people or whatever, right? You got to create your market. Create your market. And you can't create your market if you're not having enough conversations, if you're not doing open houses, if you're not on social media consistently, like 15 times a week. Like, you got to create the market, create the reverse offers, and have fun doing it.
I love that. Top agents create the market. Boom. Thank you. I'll put the sound effect.
I mean, that's the mic drop moment. I feel like we're done. Adelina, let's do this. Let's go listen to Ben and Chris.
I know. Let's go have more fun.
Yeah, we're going to have some more fun. Chad Hyams, thanks for covering the first 7 minutes while my computer was crapping out. Adelina, I'm sorry that happened. You're amazing. Reverse offers. Who in the room right now is going to go do one of these today? Jenny is. She's like, I love it. It's gold. All right, you guys, have an awesome week. Thanks, Adelina. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye, Chad. Bye.